can see a lot of these things changing.
I've been timed out for posting a link.
Yeah, how dare you? You tried to post a link towards teaching someone something, didn't you? but
Yup.
But yeah, I mean, I got timed out for saying fog of war earlier. Apparently that was a little bit too political by me. I think the auto moderator is out to get us, Gareth.
So what is it? Initially, creep wave consists of 3 melee creeps and 1 range creep, and 1 siege creep every 10th wave. As the game progresses, their quantity gets upgraded. So the 31st wave and onwards, 15 minutes, plus 1 melee creeps. 61st wave, which is 30 minutes, plus 1 melee creep.
Yep.
Then 35 plus 1 siege, 40 plus 1 ranged, and 45 plus 1 melee.
Yeah, that's why the waves will naturally grow bigger, and you will get more and more for killing them. So overall, the creeps also do gain more HP. That's why the range creeps right now have 348 HP, whereas early game, they might have died to certain nuke spells. Now they might not. That's details that you will notice when you start playing a lot of like Queen of Pain with Scream. And you're like, oh, the range creep always dies when I click it, and then suddenly they don't die anymore.
Yeah.
But it's you know, it's all for balance purposes.
But yeah, that Wikipedia wiki page has tables and numbers and stats, and if you're into that, I'm sure you'll love it.
Oh, there's so much data that you could dive into, honestly, on different things in Dota. And sometimes you find interesting things, you know, you sit down and decipher stuff when you're an experienced player. I've studied the gold distribution for kills and, you know, theory crafted stuff around this to endless avails.
Yeah, the gold value of every neutral creep as well to know which one to use Hand of Midas on was my favorite back in the day.
Of course, of course. Yeah, I had to do the math, not for neutrals, but for lane creeps. Should I Midas a melee creep or a range creep?
It was like range creep was the best until like, I don't know, minute 30 or something.
But
And then you can start doing melees.
Yeah, I did the calculations for it. Turned out you got 22.5 more experience for doing the range creep, but you also gave up a lot of gold for doing the range creep, because the range creep gives more gold if you don't Midas it. So ultimately I came to the conclusion I like Midasing melee creeps more, unless I desperately need a level. These are the type of details you'll eventually get nerdy on. Oh, look at Dire trying to go around, but mid-wave might make it obvious.
So Roshan could be spawning right now. He could be alive. And that's what both teams are looking for. And while the Radiant were in the pit, but they're on the Tiny with the chain stuns, but this DM Black Hole, he's got 3 cores inside of this massive ulti and nothing to stop him. So they've killed the Mars, kept the Satanic Tiny alive, and now Pure's Monkey King has gone. A huge ultimate from this Enigma has turned this fight around. It looked so good for BetBoom until this one spell. The Black Hole we've been waiting for completely annihilates BetBoom, and the well-deserved tip and all chat from Miero.
Yeah, he tips him in all chat, and you cannot disregard Mr. DM. You saw a juicy Tiny, but takes a while to burst Tiny, and Enigma punished them there, gets every single frontliner caught. Beautiful stuff for him, and now they're just in shambles. They have 50 seconds of no Monkey King.
That's pretty wild.
Oh, they got the Ringmaster?
Yeah, it looks like they might just have him. I mean, Save has brought back. We'll try and save Kataomi. Gets him out of danger, at least for now. But this high ground attempt isn't stopping. The Will-O-Wisp will delay the push for a little while, but Sniper and Tiny very adept at bringing down buildings. Not so adept at dealing with this magic damage spam. And look at the jump in from Miero. Very over-eager and aggressive. Not going to pay just yet with his life, but might die still. But he's going to Ogre Seal Totem to the high ground. GPK now jumps on the Tiny. There's no ages here on these heroes. Roshan is still alive, so it's not as though they've got a second life. They're just throwing their body in harm's way to try and find some leeway in this fight. 9 class goes in, jumps out. That will force the retreat now from Paravision. But it could be BetBoom who gets this bonus kill. Tinker's been found inside the arena. He's dead with buyback available, but it could be BetBoom moving to Roshan now.
Yeah, that's a big kill to get. Even if he does have buybacks, you just need to kill this Tinker. He's doing way too much in the fights. And now with some cooldowns, Black Hole still on cooldown for 50 seconds. Enigma with that massive Black Hole earlier, it is the longest cooldown ability in the game here. 170 seconds total, 40 seconds still to go before he has it.
DM. This is an Enigma without Black Hole. He's jumped in to cast some spells, speared away, and that might have saved him. Miero with a misplay puts DM out of arm's reach from the rest of his allies. Monkey King is here with an ultimate. He's going to take down at least 9 class, but they've lost 2 heroes already, and Pure has the BKB to run away. DM is still alive somehow. The Enigma's fine, and this is where Satanic on this Tiny could give chase. Bedroom barely escape, but now Roshan belongs to Paravision.
Yeah, they're gonna get the Roche control from this. It is 40-minute mark though, so Roche wants to move down bottom, so we already see him moving down instead of going up to try and fight Roche again. They wouldn't have time before he makes his way down to bottom. And this might just be enough time for them to respawn on the Mars and contest it. With Tinker dead without buyback now, as he spent it in that fight. And also see he's dead for a long time due to what we call dying back. After you bought back, you get a long death timer.
Things get so messy now. Does Bet Boom get Roshan? Oh god, Pure.
Monkey is in. Oh my.
No BKB, but he's got disengaged tools. But Satanic is here with a toss into the black hole. Miero trying to blink and stun, but he's caught in the black hole himself. Yeah, try and put him in the box, but the Monkey King is broken out. Miero will arena spear the Enigma down as GPK comes in to fight. Ducalis and Satanic are going to make short work of him. Ogre Seal Totem, distance for the Dragon Knight. Satanic throwing stuff at GPK with a sniper peeping at him. It's a double kill for Tiny.
He can blink him
Another massive fight for Paravision. Kataomi back into the box himself, but this Satanic Tiny is an absolute monster. He's giving chase. Assassinate, not going to finish him. Kataomi, he's going to survive, but Bedboom starting to bleed out now.
Yeah, that was just really unfortunate. The Mars blinked into the black hole when he tried to save his friend and gets caught as a +1 instead. Didn't get the Hex onto the Enigma. Didn't get his BKB out before he lost almost all his HP, and now the game is really looking good for Paravision.
They're in an incredible spot now. They get Roshan. They get to play the map. 11,000 net worth lead for themselves. Bedboom have really struggled to play around this Monkey King too much. DM with these black holes has been their undoing. That's why this hero has been so popular in the latter stages of LAN events throughout Dota's history. Enigma and his black hole, it's iconic.
Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is. I have a question if there are any older players here where the item keybinds defaulted to DF, CXV, and space because my dad used them and now I use them. I don't know if it was ever defaulted to that. No, that does sound like he actually just set up a pretty efficient setup. It's not bad hotkeys because they're pretty clustered and centered. But yeah, old hotkeys. If you go old enough, I mean, they used to have hotkeys on numpad. Remember, it was not great.
Yeah,
hotkeys were all over the place in Dota 1 days, for instance.
I mean, a lot of us used to use that auto hotkey or War 3 key or whatever.
Yep.
So basically, my hotkeys now are a remnant of those days. I don't use QWER. I use ASDF. So I basically have QWER, but a row lower, which I set up myself, and I've just never bothered to change to quote-unquote normal hotkeys.
Yeah, I mean, that's very nice. You're very close to what they ended up doing with the normalization.
Yeah. Honestly, wasn't far off.
With the jump on Mars, the double toss.
Oh, he's into the box. Saved by the Ringmaster. Assassinate, not enough damage. He's got the BKB up, so he's safe.
And that is the save potential from Ring. And this is why you want a Nullifier, perhaps. But they don't really have good heroes for buying a Nullifier. Tiny doesn't have one, so it's a bit tricky for them to dispel the Ringmaster save. Can't really get rid of it. They need to go on the right targets. Both these teams, honestly.
So usually you wouldn't be able to see that tower on the high ground, but Sniper has Shrapnel, which gives him vision, which then in turn allows him to hit from long range. So he's killed off the tier 3 and the Barret, but in from the back, the Enigma, they've got the primary target that they dreamed of. Finding the kill on DM is huge. They lose Miero to Satanic though, and now Bedboom trying to reset and turn. Waste the time of the BKBs, get down the Will-O-Wisp as Pure jumps in with a Wukong's command. The shiny golden dragons, the monkey statues, they kill the Tiny. Bedboom have defended their base, got 2 massive kills, rebuffed the efforts of Paravision, and fought back into an Aegis team.
And BetBoom, dude, their communications are so good. I can see it from how they move. They get the first kill on Enigma. Fantastic. Follow up, bring down the Tiny. And then Sniper would have been a natural next target, but because of the buyback from Enigma, BetBoom read that and say, yeah, okay, we're going to not chase after a Sniper. Let's just clearly reset. And they bite back in a fantastic way.
That initial jump from Mars and Dragonite was so synchronized.
Oh, yeah.
They blinked the same server tick, basically.
He was sitting, what he thought was in Fog of War was actually under a ward. The Enigma sat in a tree line, but that ward they put on the high ground gave them vision on him. And if they see Enigma, it's literally like seeing red for them. If they see him, he is all in target worthy. This man, his positioning is the most important thing in the entire game right now.
So there are a bunch of questions. We've got a bit of a lull now. So there are a bunch of questions I noticed earlier on. We've mentioned dispelling a couple of times. Once to say to remove a debuff and the other one to remove a buff. Is it the same keyword in both instances? So, yes.
Yeah, I like to sometimes clarify. In the game uses the same keyword. The game calls it dispel no matter which. I like to distinguish it, which one I'm referring to, by just calling it purge if I'm using it on the enemy. If I'm dispelling enemies, you could say you're purging the enemy. Important to note is that for allies, if you're dispelling an ally, there are 2 levels to dispel. There's basic and strong dispel. If you're dispelling an enemy, there's only 1 level of dispel. So you don't need to be confused about, oh, is there a strong enemy dispel? There's only 1 level. What's a basic dispel? It's a dispel that removes all kinds of things that are dispellable. Literally anything that is dispellable will be removed. Strong dispels can remove stuff like a stun, which generally will not be dispelled. So if you get stunned up by Mars Spear, but a strong dispel comes in, you can actually be brought out of that stun immediately. There are no strong dispels in this game right now.
And this is another case of Dota kind of building its own language and getting a bit messy with it as well. Yeah. Because Purge technically is a dispel, an aggressive dispel that has a slow attached to it. But in normal general speech, it is just the dispel that we're talking about when we say Purge.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back like long ago. They used to call Diffusal active in Dota 1 days was called Purge.
Yeah, so, or the little Sato creeps with the Purge as well.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, it is pretty good to know that at least if you dispel an enemy, you will not dispel positive things that your team have put there, right? Like things that are positive to you. So if you, for instance, have Jakiro in your team and he puts some damage over time on the enemy, you can't dispel that accidentally. You're not going to mess your friend up. This can sometimes backfire. If you have a teammate who has an ethereal blade, he can turn the enemy into a ghost. If you have a nullifier to make so you can attack the enemy, you can't actually stop your ally from turning the enemy into a ghost. So, you know, basically your teammate could Ghost Scepter the enemy, even though the enemy can't Ghost Scepter against your nullifier.
Yeah, there was a period where we also used to use the word cleanse for these kind of dispels that get rid of all negative debuffs on an ally, but, you know, obviously keep all the positive ones. And it was this, you know, idea that dispel was the main idea, and you had 2 branches, one purge and one as a cleanse, as offensive and defensive. But yeah, I mean, Dota language gets real messy because some things are just straight up, you know, oxymorons, or they mean the opposite of each other.
Yeah. Is it possible to build 100% status res? It is not. You can have a lot, but status resistance does not stack in the game. Like, for instance, the only way you can purchase status resistance in the game is either Sanchiasha or Aeon Disc, which gives you a temporary massive status resistance when you get gone on. But you can't buy multiple Sanchiashas and stack status resistance that way. You can, however, stack it with your hero having a built-in status resistance to get a little bit more, but they will stack multiplicatively, so not up to 100%. Yeah, exactly. We have a few status resistance effects in the game here. We have Tinker with the defense matrix, and we also have Tiny.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And literally nothing has happened in the whole period we were chatting, right? Both teams have been farming.
They're posturing, we like to call it. You know, the teams.
I'm just chilling, and I'm like, wait, I'm casting a game.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm meant to be doing something.
This is great. This is the nice thing about the newcomer stream. We get to you know, work a little bit on different ideas that we usually don't have time to elaborate on, because in a regular cast we would be filling time or highlighting how cool it is that Tinker pushed top lane, or you know how important it is that these two are playing close to each other. Some of those details, honestly, we don't need to focus on right now. We're focusing on the game as a whole, and this is a journey. You know, we're gonna be back tomorrow. There's gonna be more newcomer stream then. We'll continue with those games.
And right now we can make the callback, the full circle to Vision, right? We always start the broadcast talking about Vision pretty much every single time. And 50 minutes in, we come back to Vision being one of the, if not the most important element in the game. So we've got a smoke from BetBoom, they're invis, they're hidden from Vision. They're looking to play into an area where they can place Vision to play into a team fight on their terms.
Yeah, right now both teams have pretty limited vision to work with, but this is one of those games where, you know, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. If you have any vision to play towards right now, you want to use it. Radiant see that they have a creep wave going all the way mid. And this is a big thing. Generally, your creep waves heading towards the enemy base will make it so they need to defend. And that gives away their position when they show themselves like Monkey did mid.
Satanic. He gets jumped. They've got chain disables on him, but is it enough? He gets out the BKB, so now he's protected. Pure and GPK, shiny and golden as well. There's a black hole from DM on nothing.
He missed everything.
I'm not sure what he was meant to catch.
He thought Monkey was there. He thought Monkey was on the trees, but he wasn't in those trees. DM, he's fighting ghosts. Oh, that's awkward. That's a massive
rough.
Yeah, it's really rough.
Did they see? Like they didn't tip him or anything, but they saw it.
Yeah, I mean, it was in their vision, so they definitely saw it. They had a ward down.
They must have heard it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't miss the fact that black hole was used. They've said it to each other. Yeah, black hole on cooldown, and he does not have a refresher or surprise from the fog war or something. This could be dangerous for Radiant. At least it could be a massive timing window for Dire to play on, as Roshan is up. And this Rosh, the more times we kill Rosh, we have never talked about this, Gareth. The more times you kill Rosh, the more Christmas presents he gives you. So you can always click Rosh and check. Right now, he gives us 4 presents because it's the 3rd Rosh. Oh. And yeah, he starts by giving you just the Aegis, which brings you back, and that's an amazing item. Then you get the banner. It's shit. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the banner. It's pretty bad.
It's fine.
You can play Dota without knowing what banner does, and it will not impact your win rates. I'm gonna say it that way.
I wouldn't pay 100 gold for it, but it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Literally anything that helps you is fine, I guess. But banner is pretty hard to justify, you know, prioritizing too much. But it's good in coordination, which means in pubs it's even worse than it is in Pro Dota. Then there's Refresher Shard. This is literally S tier, I guess, as well. This is like Aegis tier. Refresher Shard can win you a game. It allows you for one time to reset the cooldown of all your items and abilities, and that's it. It's an item, you get it for once. You know, there's a Refresher Orb you can purchase. You get that, but a one-time usage. It's absurdly strong.
So what I want everyone to do is close your eyes, forget the most recent black hole, and send your mind backwards into the past to that black hole we saw like in the middle lane. That one. Imagine that one. It was so sick, right? 3 core heroes all caught up in the black hole. Imagine 2 of those.
Oh, you might open your eyes and you might see another one soon.
There's a blink toss. Satanic, the double toss, the black hole onto 2 cores. There it is from DM. The Monkey King walks inside of it as well. 2 massive takedowns from Paravision as DM comes in with an important black hole. Now BetBoom TPing home, trying to run and bail away as fast as they can Scarper. They've got 1 buyback on the Dragon Knight, but no buyback on the Mars. So Mars was unable to BKB, Refresher, Hex, or anything in that fight.
He got caught out there. That was... I mean, these fights are all about how you connect and what the start of the fight is going to be. And it's so burst heavy. Tiny just broke the smoke in a good way and got the first stun onto Mars and eliminated him. Mars had no chance to react. And that's what? Aegis over on the Tiny. Refresher Shard. Are they going to move it over to Enigma? Or who got it? Sniper has it for now. I think you passed that to Enigma here.
I think you should. Yeah. Meanwhile, up at the top, left corner of the map, Jakiro and Tinker are making Monkey King's life a little more challenging. Pure is out there trying to push the wave, keep the enemy outside of this dire base as far as humanly possible.
Pure is going on a shopping trip. He's gonna buy the big sword.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah.
He's got it queued up already. He's heading to a secret shop in haste. He sold his Battle Fury, purchased the Divine Rapier. This is one of the coolest items in the game. It gives you an absurd amount of damage, but it drops if you die. So the enemy can take it.
So it has two forms. Right now, Monkey King, he's a physical damage dealer, so he's got it in the physical damage form. But you could be a magic damage dealer and switch it and do more magic damage with it if you want to.
Yep. They already did lose top, but they have their bottom tower. And the line being drawn on the minimap there is Radiant saying, okay, we got to push the final lane because there's a tier 2 tower. We haven't covered that too much, but you cannot lose your barracks if you haven't lost the previous towers in the lane. All the towers need to be removed in sequence, otherwise your base is safe and cannot be attacked. So the bottom lane of Rax cannot be taken until they take this tier 2 bottom.
55 minutes in. Who was in chat saying that I cursed the game to go to tier 5 neutral items?
Yeah,
what do you mean? What do I mean cursed? I mean blessed. I mean blessed. We've got it's a teaching moment.
Yes. Teaching moment. Never say things like this on air, Gareth. I'm all here for it, man. This is getting to interesting territory. 5 minutes, we will get the big items. The funny thing is, pro players, and this is a funny argument that I sometimes make, pro players might be the least experienced players with the tier 5 items out of all of the player base. Because they get so few games that go to 60-minute plus compared to the lower tier games. If you're a legend player, like, you have so many games that go 1 hour plus. Like, you've been there. But honestly, if you look at like the most recent 50 games or something of an Immortal player, it's quite likely that 0 of them went to an hour mark.
Yeah, I mean, saying that, Paravision and BetBoom, they've had a couple of 50 plus minute games in recent history, but they've equally had some 19 and 20 minute games as well.
It's like the games always end right around the 59 or 60 minutes, you know, right before the items.
Yeah.
I fear this game might head that direction too.
No, come on,
Dude, that's like the 3rd time he's been so close at getting cut down from these trees by midnight.
He's trying so hard.
Yeah, DM is having a frustrating game to a degree. He's also landed some really satisfying black holes, but he's been so close so many times. Oh, he's got Arcane Rune, dude. He is hyping up right now. He's like, this is an amazing rune to have on Enigma. Get that CDR for your big ultis. He's going to snag it for himself.
And then back to the vision, where BetBoom are set up outside of their base, playing under a ward they've placed.
This Monkey King is all we need to follow this fight as well. He's got that rapier still. Can they get him? Or will he get a big ulti down?
So BetBoom realize they can't play under that ward. Paravision aren't going there. Paravision see this bottom lane as their primary objective.
If Monkey jumps forward, he's going to be spotted by this Observer Ward.
They go in.
They saw him.
Dragon Knight. He BKBs to force 2 BKBs. Tinker and Sniper both expending theirs. 2 for the price of 1 for GPK.
He's pretending to be a tree on the side here. He's one of the trees. Monkey can transform, so he's standing right there. Yeah, that one little tree is a little bit suspicious. When he is a tree like this, the enemy cannot see him on minimap, by the way. So only if you actually click him will you realize that that's him. Monkey has some silly transformations, very unique to the hero. 72 transformations is what I've heard he has.
72?
Yeah. He usually says it when you kill Lycan. Lycan's got 1 transformation. I've got 72.
There's more than that. There's more than 72 couriers. Well, Satanic. 35 seconds left on Aegis. He decides it's not worth his time to sit on the enemy high ground any longer. So this final lane of barracks, what separates BetBoom from those mega creeps, it still stands in that bottom lane. But a double damage now spawning at bottom. So DM doesn't get to use the arcane rune. That's a little sad. They're going to have a tiny amplified damage though, which is absolutely massive.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're just going from one possible power spike to the next. Tiny's hitting for almost 1,000 damage a pop before crits before Brute or MKB gets factored in, or even the serrated shield for that matter.
Such a wildly close game. Like this. So at this point, you know, we're closing in on 60 minutes. You know, we're joking about tier 5 neutral items, stuff like that. You look at the stats and it's like, okay, 14 kills, 15 kills. That's pretty close. Oh, 17,000 net worth lead. That must be a big lead, right? But at this stage in the game, that's one team fight win or loss.
Pretty much.
That lead disappears very quickly.
Yeah. Monkey was spotted on the ward top, so they're looking for something bottom. Meanwhile, Tiny could just blink in and destroy buildings really fast, but it's scary to do so. He only has one BKB, and if he gets stunned up, doesn't want to die to a DK.
Was it 30% status resistance from the defense matrix, right?
Yeah. And then you have the status resistance from his strength, and then you have status resistance from his Titanic item. So he's sitting at what right now? 27.9% without the hamster ball. And when he gets that from Tinker too, it increases even more.
Nice path on DK. Nice little box. A save on GPK. He's now allowed to BKB in turn. Satanic also going to expend his BKB to look at Pure. Here's the Monkey King coming in with the Rapier, going to work on the Sniper. They Hex and Arena no one. Down he goes. Pure and Miero refreshing up on this Mars to get onto DM, forcing the black hole quite early on. The Mars is about to die, but he's in the little trick box again, and turning onto this Satanic Tiny and clearing him out. Pure's Monkey King with this Divine Rapier kills two massive core heroes, and they're chasing for more. Who can they find? It's a Ducalis Jakiro, stunned and killed, gem on the floor, a bonus kill on 9 class, gonna be massive for BetBoom. 4 down, a triple kill for Monkey King. They defend their base, but punch back so heavily, this net worth lead is going to disappear.
Oh my god, they took that fight in such an impressive way. I can't believe that GPK decided to hold his ground the way he did, but because he stood his ground on Dragon Knight, when they went on him initially, he set up for this fight. And Enigma did not have an easy time. They were overstretched, he could not really have a good position, and ultimately he got jumped by Mars, who sacrificed his own life to jump the Enigma, but he knew the most important thing is just shut down the Enigma from getting his blink out, lock down the Enigma positioning, and then Monkey has a free team fight. And he's level 30 now. This fight, oh my god, this game is crazy actually. Monkey, gotta be careful down bottom, but he knows they don't want to click those buybacks.
Yeah, do you remember what I said at the start of the game about saves Cottle against Enigma?
Yeah, Abyssal, he's
Blink
got it.
Ether Lens Abyssal Blade.
Wow, that's advanced tech. That's advanced tech.
He's done it before and he'll do it again.
I mean, quick call on that. They don't have a lot to stop a black hole going out, especially when the Enigma has BKB. Abyssal Blade is typically a melee range bash on demand. You can click it on the enemy and that will, you know, stun them through debuff immunity. But since it's melee range, it's not that great for canceling black hole. However, Caudle gets cast range increase when he clicks ultimate. So that paired up with his Ether Lens that also increases cast range, he's turned this melee range item into now like 700 range BKB piercing black hole cancel. So Save is just 5-heading the shit out of this game. He's going big brain mode.
Yeah, Scriff says that's what interrupted the black hole in that last fight.
Oh,
that's what got them.
That's sweet, man. It wasn't the craziest black hole to begin with because he only got the Mars with it, but still, this is so frustrating for DM. He did not want there to be a BKB piercing disable, but maybe he needs to get a Lincoln's now, and even then, that Lincoln's can be broken, so it doesn't even matter. Like, the Caudle can still get you.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, both of the BetBoom support players have done this in the past. I've just remembered Kataomi has played a hero called Scarith Mage, similar, you know, kind of ranged squishy hero, doing the exact same thing.
They're the specialists.
They are the Abyssal Blade specialists for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's layers, right? You have this Abyssal Blade to stop the black hole, which saved Miero for a moment, which allowed the box to come out from the Ringmaster to keep him alive a little bit longer, which gets another Scythe of Ice, and it's just these little things, like 1 second of save that keeps someone alive for 5 seconds means he gets another round of spells out, which is another, you know, 1,000 damage, or another 5 seconds of disable on a key hero, etc.
Yeah. I think we're gonna draw attention to the neutral items that they have right now. the tier 5 items that are coming out are just massive impact. We don't usually see these. Radiant have 2 Books of the Dead that can summon these Necro Warriors to run forward and give vision. Great for scouting. You and I talked about how vision is important. These guys have True Sight, so they can de-ward the wards. They're actually going in and doing it now. And meanwhile on Dire, I mean, they have Meteor Hammer, or Fallen Sky on Monkey, which can act as a teleport base, or a blink, basically. Very good for
instant escape.
Yeah, also stuns the enemy when you do it. It does have the same rules as a Blink Dagger. You cannot activate it if you've been attacked, or taken damage rather. But it's a great way for him to initiate the fights now. And I think the support items might even be bigger. The Spider Legs with cast range increase on Ringmaster is massive.
Does Radiant have Spider Legs as well? Spider Legs destroy trees, huh?
Yeah, there are 3 of them. Tiny has Spider Legs.
A couple of Books of the Dead, yeah. Well, right now, both teams just vying for control over this Roche pit. He's alive in the southern pit. But top lane, there's Necro Warriors in the base. There's mid lane pushing in. So this fight, it's important for BetBoom that it starts now. They need immediate initiation. But it's Miero who gets jumped on, and DM has the black hole, and GBK cancelled though. They've stunned him up. There's the refresh out of DM, trying to move back into position. The arena has zoned them out and separated Tiny, who's dying inside the Monkey King's rings. So they move now across to the next target, pinning the Sniper and the Enigma against the arena and blowing them up. 3 massive core kills, 1 forced to buyback. BetBoom, 5 alive, have to come back and defend their base though because it's being pummeled.
The Necrobooks, they're taking the Mega Creeps. They're getting the Rax, they're not defending it. They didn't realize. The Dragon Knight is defending top. Oh my god, GPK, he didn't see that there were Necrobooks on the bottom racks. It's been too long since Necrobook was in the game. He doesn't know what it is anymore. He didn't realize there were these little demons there.
Goodness gracious,
Radiant lost a huge team fight, but now have Mega Creeps for themselves. It is worth mentioning this late into the game, Mega Creeps are pretty manageable, but it's still a massive thing to have to work against.
And important that BetBoom get this Roshan, right? They need an objective. They need a W right now after that team fight win.
Yeah, they need to extend the advantage more and more. Always looking
and force buybacks.
Yes. So Refresher Shard being given over to supports. Oh yeah, and there's a strong Dispel now. The Escape Act from Ringmaster. He's level 25, so he has the strong Dispel and flying on Escape Act now. So he can save people from being disabled. Important to note that it does not save you out of Black Hole. Like you can't strong Dispel out of a continuous effect. Like the Black Hole that's on the ground continuously disabling.
Yeah, there are very few saves against Enigma's Black Hole. Monkey King just going to jump straight in onto this tier 3 tower. Gets hexed up. Scythe of Ice turns him into a little piggy momentarily, but he's quickly moving from objective to objective. The Stygian Desolator on this Dragon Knight removes all the armor of the buildings, which amplifies up all that physical damage. But BetBoom realized that it's cutting it a bit close now. They get a couple of lanes, and they have to return back to maintain their base and their lanes.
Just thought of something as we saw the sniper shooting there. I haven't thought about it before. Sniper ulti has to be one of the few abilities in the game that can actually break you in 2 different ways. If you go Silver Edge, it can break. If you go Kanda, it can also break.
Oh.
It's kind of silly, right? Because it's an auto attack tied with the spell after Assassinate shoots you. Just a very random thought. I've never pondered before. And if you become a fan of Dota, if you play this game, you're gonna have a lot of random epiphanies like that. Like, oh, that spell works to do this thing. This game, though, Radiant, they keep using these little Necro Warriors to try and push back. They're really obnoxious to deal with. Always having to go back and kill. And the fact that they have 2 sets of the Necro Warriors. Yo, what? I didn't realize. There's no way Kataomi hasn't died a single time this game. What do you mean you haven't died in this game?
Ringmaster?
How have you not died this game a single time? You're 68 minutes in it, and you're saving support. Kataomi is playing out of his mind, dude. There's no way. What? I didn't realize until now.
What?
It's insane. His positioning has been so good. And then he gets the Spider Legs as well as tier 5 item, which allows you to walk over trees and hills. When you activate Spider Legs, you can have free pathing for a little while. So that's a massive item for him.
Pure is a bit spooked in that bottom lane. Because yeah, it's not just the Necro books, right? It's like 2 sets of them, plus it's the Tinker.
Yeah.
Splitting this map pretty wide.
And when you don't see any enemy and you have to deal with this Necrobooks coming in on the side lanes, it's easy for us to see if he's alone and looks safe, but he has no clue where the enemy are right now. So he is trying to be very cautious when he's pushing lanes as Monkey King.
Yeah, the map gets real dark. Radiant have a couple of wards out there. The most important one near their Ancients right now that they'll be looking to play towards. But the Dire Vision, you know, down at that bottom jungle, not super important for them. And pretty much playing blind into this map.
I mean, we're getting to the point where it's hard to say what the players should do for progression. We have 14,800 gold on Monkey King. He's got Moonshard and Aghanim's consumed already. So, you know, he's slotted. He's got the items.
Yeah.
Give Moonshard his teammates at this point. Give a Moonshard to the Dragon Knights. Be a good gift. Oh my god, this move. But Tinker is again forcing someone to go and defend. Sending in those Necro Warriors. And the creeps are in your base. That Boom are gonna have to go back.
Pure shows himself. He jumps in. He jumps in. Pure. He's just going to die. First life gone. The arena's there from Miera with GPK standing his ground with a black hole preemptively placed. But where's the save? Where's the stop on this black hole? They've got the little trick. And the second black hole comes, trying to keep this Monkey King alive. But I don't know if they can get it done. GPK has fallen. Refresh up from Kataomi to buy a bit of time for Pure to escape. They've somehow got him out of there. GPK is going to buy back as it looks like Bedroom want to try and defend their base somehow as it's being pummeled non-stop by Necrobooks and creep waves
is
arriving.
falling. They're going in. Snipers. Oh, they cancel him. I think he was trying to end the game there. 1,000 HP on the Dire Throne. This is critical. If they get over there, they almost auto-win. Tiny can delete this with like 3 auto attacks.
They have 1 glyph.
Yeah, that glyph is basically their entire life right now. Tiny wants buyback, I think, before he makes a crazy play like that. He's 2 minutes off it, so obviously he could kill it very fast, but does not want to throw away the game by not having buyback and dying.
This is where chaos ensues, right? It's so difficult to have a read on this game as a spectator with perfect information, never mind as a player who's only seeing half of the map.
The last fight when Enigma dropped the black hole on the Monkey King, the Coddle went in and he saw the Lincolns on the Enigma, tried to break it by E-blading him first and then Abyssal blading him. But I think Sniper passed the Lincolns onto Enigma after the first Lincolns was broken. It was either that or he misclicked onto Sniper because he broke 2 Lincolns instead of actually getting through with the Abyssal. So he wasn't able to stop the black hole. If he did stop the black hole, I think they turned that fight right there. Monkey King starts dealing damage and that could have been game. So the details, these minor details are crazy right now.
And now they have 3 Lincolns. The Tinker has 1 as well, so they've got another layer.
Yeah, they're just gonna spam Lincolns on the Enigma. He needs to be allowed to cast spell. And Lincolns, we haven't really talked about it, I guess, but it seems pretty obvious by the last fight. It stops a spell. So a targeted ability used on an ally, if they have Lincolns on them, it blocks it. And you can have multiple Lincolns as well in a team. And they do kind of become better and better. When you have a lot of them, it's hard to go through all those layers of protection. You can give this item to an ally, like activate it on an ally to get your defensive ability on them. So they're stacking it up on Enigma to try and allow him to cast his ulti. Pretty crazy stuff.
Has to go and vacuum up these Necro units over and over again.
Heading.
Are they still called Necronomicon, Archer, and Warrior? Did they rename them?
No, they are Necronomicons. Yeah, they're called that. It is, you know, maybe they should be called, I don't know, the Dead or something. It's the Book of the Dead after all. But oh, Hex Top! They hexed
on the monkey. The BKB's up.
Trying to fight.
He's got Refresher. He's trying to turn and fight with an Abyssal Blade. He's got another BKB, Wukor's command, and it looks like Paravision, the ones to disengage. They'll come back in, though, with a TP onto the Necro Book. Pure saved up with an E-Blade and a Glimmer Cape, but now he's under the Macropire. Arena here with another Wukor's command onto the Tinker. Bet-Boom turn. Protect their Monkey King, kill 9 class, and force a buyback.
Tiny Enigma from below.
They're coming in from the south. Satanix onto Miero. Kataomi as well. They throw an Arena defensively, but the BKB from Tiny doesn't care about it.
Monkey's
Ringmaster dead for 2 minutes. GPK's gone in to kill off DM, so the Enigma's dead. But buyback advantage is here for Paravision. Bet-Boom have 2 heroes down, no buyback. There's the Enigma returning to battle. And a 3 versus 5. that Betboom, I mean, surely can't win.
Yeah, Monkey's dead. He's caught.
He's caught.
He doesn't
Dropped
have
down from the
BP.
trees. 9
Or
class,
is he fine?
Satanic. Hang on a second. They're saving Pure, getting him out of danger with the help of this Kotl and Mars, but now they turn on Miero. Spider Legs try and get some distance. Bulwark is
And
up,
they get
protecting him
skull
from the right
thrown.
links, but Satanic is there, and they start to go throne. GG
Wow.
called. Paravision, 74 minutes it took them to come back into this game, back and forth, slow and dragged out, deliberate from both teams, looking for these key fights. But in the end, it's Betboom who go a step too far into that Radiant base. They get pinched by these Necro Warriors and units coming into the Dire base to finish them off, and Paravision picking their moment.
I mean, just cinema, dudes. Cinema moments right here. This is a crazy game of Dota 2. You don't often get a game this wild, but absolutely insane. And that's going to be Paravision. A crazy way tying up the series. I like this. This is one of the best games I've seen all year. So if you're new to Dota, this was a blessing to get to watch. There's probably 1,000 different details I could sit here and dissect after a game like this. But ultimately, Paravision, nerves of steel, man. They managed to somehow hold on to the series, brink of elimination.
I'm going to be processing this game for another couple of days still. You know, that's how wild it's been. And just having a 75-minute game in general in this patch at this moment in time is absolutely wild. I cannot imagine how they are in the arena with the whole crowd
Dude,
going
the crowd
for this
is
one.
feeling it, I'm sure, right now. That was wild. We're going to have to take a break, Gareth. There's a game number 3 coming up. We need to get some water, get ready for another one, because there's a lot more coming. These players, they're bringing it to the series.
One more elimination time. We'll see you on the other side.
It's a late night, I think about your face and your bright eyes, and now you're not with me. It's a sad sight. I wish I was your light, I wish I was your light. I see silhouettes dancing in the dark. You took a chance on me, this heart has been arrested. You're my chest and feeling to dancing. I see silhouettes dancing in the dark. You took a chance on me, this heart has been arrested. You're my chest and feeling to dancing. You know I be loving you well. You know I be loving you well. Loving you well. You know I be loving you well. You know I be loving you well. Loving you well. Loving you well. It's your t-shirt, the way you walk into a room makes my heart hurt. I never felt alone until this best curse. I wish I was your light, I wish I was your light. I see silhouettes dancing in the dark. You took a chance on me, this heart has been arrested. You're my chest and feeling to dancing. I see silhouettes dancing in the dark. You took a chance on me, this heart has been arrested. You're my chest and feeling to dancing. You know I be loving you well. You know I be loving you well. Loving you well. You know I be loving you well. You know I be loving you well. Loving you well. You know I'd be loving you well. You know I'd be loving you well. Loving you well. You know I'd be loving you well. You know I'd be loving you well. Loving you well. Loving you well. Loving you well. You know I'd be loving you well. You know I'd be loving you well. Loving you well. Loving you well. Laying on the floor again, watching all the stars rolling.
All right, folks, one game left tonight here for the newcomer stream as we get back to the ESL1 rally action. Lower bracket elimination time. The best of 3 now comes to one final game, separating one of these teams from elimination and from that lower bracket final against Tundra Waga. And these games have been very slow and deliberate from draft to play to finish. There's been kind of slow extended periods into bursts of action.
Yeah, it started out pretty relaxed from both teams, you could say, and especially methodical, but we also built towards that crazy crescendo that was last game. And we get to see a lot of these players operate with many items and insane potential towards the later stages, so it's all worth the build-up, but I do wonder if someone's going to be able to break this pattern of the slow Dota. Is someone going to, you know, run away with it and take over a little bit earlier than we've seen in the previous 2 games? Because it's been almost a bit, like, suspiciously slow. It feels like this is unusual.
No, it is, right? For this patch, for this tournament, these are very long games. We were talking about not seeing tier 5 neutral items, and here we have a game go 55 minutes, then a game go well over an hour. And we have resident stats people in the Dota community, and one of the kings of the stats has noticed this and posted out a couple of tweets. Knoxville has talked about how slow these games are, and in the the kind of history of Dota from when stats were being recorded, these 2 games have been the 14th least bloody games in Dota history. Right? This is like not just recent time, but historically, these are slow games in general.
Yeah, it's not really representative of how Dota usually looks, and in particular, these are 2 teams of Eastern European players. These are players that are known for the bloodbaths that they can bring a lot of the time. It's usually very aggressive, very hectic, but I think both teams are also feeling the pressure, what's at stake. It's the elimination here, and feeling the danger. Now they're down to effectively a best of 1 for who's going to advance, so you got to pull out any crazy strats you had saved up. It's time to use them now, Gareth. Yeah.
And even though these teams are already through to EWC, as far as I understand, with the points that they've already gathered, you're now fighting for prize money, right? It's now about getting the crown. These guys come to lands to get first place. There's no mucking around. You're now down to the last 4 teams of the tournament. You are aiming for first or nothing, pretty much. You want that grandiose prize. And this is where it's going to separate the big dogs from the underdogs. We'll find out. Game 3, draft about to begin. An elimination on the line from one of these teams.
We'll see if there's going to be any thematic difference in approach. The bans and picks are such an important part of competitive Dota. The teams are definitely getting to know and adapting to each other and what we have seen so far. I do think that the Ringmaster showed himself to have very big value in the previous game. I still don't think that he's going to really warrant a first phase ban, as some other heroes are still very, very strong, and we'll see what they're going to cook up here.
Yeah, something I'm curious to see. I've only just realized, honestly, because I was looking at the bans from the previous games, and I noticed that BetBoom have been banning Medusa, whether they're first pick or second pick, and Paravision have been wanting to get Medusa. And I was like, that's interesting. Have BetBoom played Medusa this tournament? And it doesn't look like they have. Right. We've had in other tournaments in the past, right, a team that doesn't or hasn't played the meta hero and it's only been banned by them. I'm kind of wondering if this is one of those things that is maybe going to slip through. BetBoom are going to pull it out as a surprise, or Paravision will call their bluff and say, hey, you're not going to take it. We'll find out with the pick and ban stage.
Exactly. Going into the picks and bans and see. I think the reason as well for Betboom not having played the Medusa is down to that Miero, I don't believe, really wants to play Medusa. If you want to play Medusa current patch, you basically need to be able to flex it. You need to have two different players who can play it. The carry and the offlane need to have overlap. Otherwise, it's too easy to counter a carry Medusa. And as we see here, you were right. Betboom, again, banning out the Medusa.
Yeah, with first pick, a necessary ban is what they feel. And going for the Keeper of the Light again. So the response to this last time was the Tinker, but that obviously has been banned. Ancient Apparition in the pool would be the go-to hero, you would assume. Usually this would have been an AA first pick, but Betboom opting for the Kotl instead.
Yeah, perhaps feeling like Kotl matches fairly well against AA, even though it's counter healing from AA. Because one thing that AA doesn't counter is the mobility of the Kotl. He's a very fast hero himself, but also brings that recall and mobility they can add to his team, which can sometimes compromise the AA's positioning, who's very low mobility as a support. And yeah, this series is going the distance. I mean, we just had a, what was it, 74-minute game? Absolute wild one.
A long boy. But yeah, with this battle of supports, Ringmaster and Tinker have now gone, further up the pecking order. So we've left Jakiro in the pool. Crystal Maiden is also still out there, huh? That hero which Paravision banned twice in this series has slipped through.
The question is, would they want to play Crystal Maiden with Kotl as well? It feels a little bit squishy, a little bit dubious as support duo.
They have done it. They did it against Falcons. Kotl,
Yeah.
Beastmaster, Maiden, Sniper, Wraith King.
Yeah, I mean, it might be playable, but it limits your course a lot, and that Beastmaster is not available in this game. I do like that you mentioned Wraith King, that they played it then, though, because that's again a hero that I'm looking towards for Betboom in this game, even though Paravision are also the ones who usually prioritize Wraith King quite highly. But it could be an important pick for both teams.
And it was Betboom with first pick, so Paravision have that last pick. So Paravision are the ones with the overall last pick of the draft this time around.
Yeah, the next pick for them is going to be very important, I think. See what they want to show. You know what I want to see in these games, due to the heroes that we've kind of seen and how things have played out so far?
Yes, early Storm Spirit pick.
We're not going to get that. He's banned out. They decide to remove him instead. Not going for that route.
What do you want to see, Waga?
Sand King.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it would work pretty well. You know, the pickoffs, the big team fight emphasis, and he does really well off map. Farms pretty fast. We have seen that hero struggle a bit in the offlane in some games, but I think it can be a nice potential, at least for Paravision. I don't really want to see Sand King lane against AA and PA though. That is just a doozy of a lane.
That is rough.
Yeah, I mean, no matter who you pick here, this is so tough. But we have the ultimate question: who do you send offlane into the waiting arms of the AAPA? Every team has pretty much played this combination. These two heroes are so strong at laning stage, and we'll have to find out what Betboom want to do against them.
Oh. So stealing the Enigma, so they're going to be sending Kotl Enigma up against that lane? The ultimate way to kind of manipulate where the lane is. Enigma Eidolons and 9 creeps, Kotl dragging waves around. That's going to be a lot of nonsense to dodge the artillery that the Phantom Assassin and Ancient Apparition throw out at you in lane.
Yeah, they don't have very good heroes for killing creeps. You gotta be careful though. The Eidolons from Enigma can still go down to the PA eventually if the heroes are too low to play along with Eidolons. If you take too much harassment from the AAPA.
So it's Paravision, and that's a second pick PA. So, I don't know, for my own sanity, I've got to say the line. That could be a 9-class hero. No, okay, but seriously, there's the 9-class hero.
Yeah, there it is. Still a great hero against the Enigma, the Slark. Even though Enigma can catch people through a Slark Shard kind of protects you against any form of right-click targeting at least. But if you get caught in the soup, so to say, of Bet Boom. If you get Black Holds, Enigma drops the, or Jakiro drops the Macropire, it can be pretty nasty to stand in that.
And there we can see the the overlaps of these teams, the hero pools, and I guess just the meta in general, right? A snapshot of the meta there, with popular heroes being stolen, picked, counterpicked, banned. If they were banned previously and they're let through, they are taken.
Yeah, and I like the idea by Bet Boom. I mean, I think that the heroes that Paravision had previous game were really good for how the game played out. If this is gonna be one of those games that slowly just scales and gets towards late game, then Enigma is great. However, Enigma has this massive cooldown on his ulti, and all of Paravision's heroes so far can play at a reckless pace. None of them have big ulti cooldowns, and all of them can be very skirmishy. So I would like to see Paravision try and be the ones to step up the pacing of this game.
And that is now a lot of mobility from Paravision.
Yeah.
PA, Slark, both, we've seen them jumping in and out of fights. Now Centaur has his ultimate Stampede, which gives everyone a ton of movement speed to sprint away from what Bet Boom has right now, which is an ice path and a black hole as your stuns.
Yeah.
Kind of difficult to land.
Yeah, they don't have the best stuns. They do have the Slark Palms to kind of hold people in place. But definitely disables are looking a bit stronger on the side of Bet Boom with a black hole.
Oh, the Ursa comes out from Bet Boom. Something that they've used quite a lot in specific matchups, usually against a melee hero like a Tidehunter, or in this case, a Centaur. The Ursa is able to apply a bit of pressure in lane, but is also an incredible bursting hero. So if you're able to catch people in a black hole, Ursa with a Battle Fury that cleaves and has this AoE physical effect can destroy any number of heroes inside that Enigma ulti.
I like this choice. It's a pretty cerebral choice to the carry position in this game, because not only does it do well against Centaur in lane, like you alluded to, but also the PA and AA want to burst people. And Ursa has an ulti that can give him massive damage reduction for a limited period of time. It's one of the few good carry saving abilities against an AA ulti as well. We had Wraith King before, who just, simply dies and respawns. But Ursa can stay alive really, really well on the back of his ultimate. And that can be scary for PA. Imagine jumping into the Ursa and he just gets the enrage off. Suddenly, you're melee range with a bear, and that might be dangerous, man.
It is so funny just looking at PA and Slark in the middle of that draft, though, isn't it, huh? Like, if you're coming back to Dota and you see this, yeah, it is a Slark position 4.
It's the two carries fighting for safe lane, It's
It's because their portraits also face into each other, PA looking to the right side, Slark looking to the left.
Yep. I farm. No you. No me.
But yeah, PA the carry here, and Slark not a popular hero as a carry at all. I mean, not popular as a hero at all, even as a carry, but popular for 9 class in this specific team as a position 4 hero, running around, giving you a lot of vision, dewarding, and then saving people in team fights with the Aghanim Shard.
Yeah. Yeah, the dewarding is going to be the main priority. The vision game of Slark is the hardest part to play against. And that's where I'm thinking Paravision could step up this game to chaotic level tempo. If they get rid of all the wards, then they can just run and look for kills non-stop with the heroes. And PA, AA, Centaur, you already have good kill setups. Bet Boom ban out's a sniper, but I would like to see something more aggressive than a sniper from Paravision. Like a mid-hero that actually plays into all this as well.
Yeah, I mean, Centaur is going to be your Ice Blast catching hero. You jump in, you stun, you Ice Blast on top, but when you've got an initiation hero, you want more. You want some kind of, Storm Ember, but they're already banned. Tiny's banned. You know what's left over? Is the No One Puck.
It is. You wanted to see it earlier. You said it. We were talking a little bit. The Puck is going to come in. No One Puck could work here for sure. Getting the silence onto the backline could be really sweet. Meanwhile, I'm looking as well. It might be a good ban for Bet Boom, because they could want a Queen of Pain for themselves against the Slark and PA. Sorry, I'm just.
Oh yeah, they give you a lot of just ground targeted AoE damage, right?
Yeah, they already have great lockdown with Jakiro and Enigma. I could see, adding Sonic Wave into this, a great way to burst PA through a potential BKB even. They're gonna ban out the Huskar.
Oh.
Hmm.
Earthshaker?
Maybe? Shaker would make sense.
Because then it counters the puck automatically.
Yeah. Could
And
be
it gives you
that.
stuns?
Could also be that they just go like Dragon Knight or something here. Monkey is banned already.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I got so excited about that Earthshaker, though.
Yeah, I know. I know. It looks like a really sick DK game, though. They get the blink initiation, which they're kind of lacking. Other than Ursa, who could jump later on, but he doesn't bring a stun. Now they can jump the PA with a DK stun and quickly burst her. And it's a good frontliner, because Enigma offlane isn't really your tank and your frontliner that you want.
Is it?
So yeah.
Is it Magnus time? Like, I'm trying to find this mid hero for no one. It doesn't strike me as an incredible puck game, even though I wanted to see a puck. All of his other heroes are gone. The Sand King that you wanted comes back.
There we go. Let's go,
Last
man.
pick, Sand King.
I love it. I think it's perfect by Paravision. I think it's
That's so
the
good.
exact last read. And yeah, I like it. I think Paravision have a great understanding. At the same time, I think BetBoom's last pick was also like the best for their situation. So these teams really on point with the drafts, I think. And ooh, tough to say a favorite. A little bit tough. I think BetBoom obviously have a big weakness in Enigma's cooldown dependency. If the game stalls out to what we saw in the previous game, heavily favoring BetBoom. But I think Paravision have identified the slow pace. It's time for a whiplash. It's time to turn up the pace. And their draft is capable of doing that.
Yeah, having these two tanky heroes in the Sand King and the Centaur who are blink initiators, right? Able to play that wide open map, utilize the Slark's vision, utilize the fact that Slark removes enemy vision, so you're going to have these surprise jumps whenever you go. Ice Blast helps you, and then it's also heroes for PA to bounce back and forth off, right? You want to be able to play in and out in team fights. Having these brawlers does a tremendous job. It's just, again, why we come back to it every single time? It's a LAN event, it's lower bracket, elimination time. We're in the playoffs. Enigma, he's a specialist hero for a lot of these offlane players. DM showed how good it can be, and we know that Miero is an exceptional Enigma player himself. And I don't know, I see Enigma and Ursa Battle Fury, his timing in that like 25 to 35 minute range. He's just, I don't know, pure. He's just so good on this hero. I can't bet against BetBoom.
I think, yeah, you point out an interesting thing. If this was a pub, literally the same players, but just in a pub, I think I would give a pretty big win percentage to Paravision. But the fact that this is lower bracket, one game away from elimination, it takes a lot of gut to play high tempo, aggressive, just YOLO, go in there. I do believe the Enigma factor is a thing where it can be scary to go close the game out. You might want to get that next Roche, and that slowly allows the game to progress to where Ursa, Dragon Knight, Enigma can take over the game. Yeah, that effect is definitely something to be respected. And I think here is a test of the valor of Team Paravision. Can they just go for it and overcome this looming threat?
Yeah, I mean, even that idea in of itself, right? That playing aggression comes with potential downsides. You can get up in people's faces, but eventually you might run out of steam. Your lineup might, hit a brick wall. You might be able to force mistakes with your aggression, but that's not just for your opponents. That's for yourselves as well. Yeah. It puts you in situations which you might not be experienced in, or might not know the outcomes of, or you're diving towers where aggro shifts from creeps to heroes quickly. Things can get very messy.
A big thing to mention is that they don't actually have good tower push on Paravision at all. And if we want them to play aggressive, it can be very good to have heroes that bring down towers easily. And honestly, they don't have one of those. None of their heroes are exceptional at killing towers. Meanwhile, if we look at BetBoom, if they ever win team fights, they have Dragon Knight, they have Enigma, they have Jakiro, all these heroes good at pushing towers. Even Ursa, I would argue, is better than PA at killing towers. Just has the overpower, can hit pretty fast. So it's gonna be a tricky one, but I'm here for it. We just came off a crazy game number 2. A little close up here on the. Oh, look at the little cub riding his murder machine.
Behind all the spikes, yeah. Behind the demonic mask. Pure
Gets
on the
those spikes
Ursa.
in his face, man. Dangerous. That seems like a safety hazard.
Genuinely, it's series like these and games like that last one that make me realize that every passing game and series I cast makes me realize how little I know about the game and how difficult it is to read situations, even
yeah.
as they're unfurling in front of me.
It's amazing to appreciate how good pro teams are, these tier 1 teams that we're watching right now, how good they are at assessing situations with limited information. They sometimes make, way better reads with the limited information they have than casters would with literally eagle's eye perspective. We're sitting here seeing everything.
Yeah, bird's eye view and hindsight and all of that business. Caster's curse chucked in on top of it. But so far, to start off this game 3, 9class has already broken smoke, walked around, scouted people out, and been a general pest. That means the bounty rune is going to go 2 for 2, though, as he gives his team the opportunity to grab them safely.
He's so annoying on 9class. He's walking
Oh,
next
bottom.
to them.
I thought they were going on that. Ducalis and Satanic were setting up to go on someone.
They might go on the Eidolons quickly on the lane. We'll see how they start the laning. On this lane, if you ignore the Eidolons, they will multiply. Obviously, it can be hard to harass them too, though, as Enigma will just pull them back.
A lot of pinging and communication there to get a lot of these early last hits, right? How important it is in the early stage of the game to kill range creeps to get experience and then deny range creeps.
How did that happen? Did they actually kill Ursa?
That's a
Centaur
very...
and Slark on level 1? That is crazy, man. He took so much damage from the Slark harassment.
Essence shift level 1.
Yeah. But against the Jakiro as well. It's surprising that they found that kill.
Yeah, I never saw that coming in a million years. That's an incredible start.
Oh my god. Speaking about incredible starts, the Dragon Knight is 6-6 in last hits mid, just absolutely schooling no one on his poor Sand King.
Oh, wow.
Did get a few last hits now, but Dragon Knight still has 4 creeps to kill, so he could make that 10-6, which is an incredible score this early.
How important is it for the start for GPK? Like, Sand King does well against melee heroes in lane, right?
Yeah, he really does. I think it's quite big that he managed to get this many denies. It gives him that level advantage. He's level 3, his opponent's level 2. Can play on a power spike a little bit, being ahead all the time. Eventually, I do expect the lane to stable out, and Dragon Knights, will be farming, but Sand King should also get good farm going.
So he's done very well now, so that in the interim, he's not going to get crushed later on. Like, without this good of a start, it would have been a much more difficult laning stage for him against the Sand King.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Keeping a close eye on some of the CS, the Ursa still has a few creeps to kill, but only sitting at 7 CS, whereas the PA has 14 already.
Yeah, I mean, communication between Sitek and Ducalis, and choosing when and where to go for these creeps early on, got them to level 2 pretty quickly, so they've managed to zone save away.
Yeah, they're actually prioritizing killing off the Eidolons as well. Ducalis is non-stop laying in auto attacks to the Eidolons, and that's the best he can do on this lane. I don't think he needs to harass heroes that much, but bringing down Eidolons so that Enigma can't farm and can't threaten anything makes the PA free farm.
And of course, the 17 last hits on the PA kind of inflated by these little Eidolon kills a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. They're still pretty valuable kills though, so it's not that deceptive. They're still very, very good to get a lot of experience and golds coming from them.
Net worth wise, she's 80 gold behind the Dragon Knight. She's still second place, right up there. And Dragon Knight now, GPK getting pummeled a bit by the Sand King. This is where the pain begins. Level 4 on no one.
Yeah, as he gets more points in the Sandstorm, the lane becomes a little bit more untenable for the Dragon Knights. A few seconds, he has the Sandstorm again, which is a massive area denial. He throws that down and you basically cannot stop the Sand King from farming. And Senki will deny that range creep. No way for you to get it.
And in that top lane, 9 class doing what he does best, dragging creep waves around, getting bounty runes, being a nuisance. This means Pure has got to do a similar job with the Radiant creeps to put them in between his tier 1 and tier 2.
Yeah, line was drawn, suggesting that Slark pulls these creeps all the way back behind the tier 1 tower and tier 2 tower. This is because they don't want to lane against Ursa and Jakiro. It's just a very strong lane duo, so trying to offset the lane. Advanced mechanics again, but here you can see exactly what he's doing. He's creating a new lane. And he's going to try and connect this to only half the next creep wave, ideally. He doesn't manage to do it, but yeah. The idea was to let 2 melee creeps walk by, and that way you can keep denying creep waves here.
In the end, he still gets a full wave denied. That's Pure going to be sad in that lane. Also missing out on those creeps. And down a bottom lane, the Enigma dropping very low to the PA and AA spam. This is where life gets difficult right level 3. They've got 2 points in their spells. It's just non-stop harassment from super long range that you can't really counteract.
Yeah, the Enigma, you know, has not been able to go too close to stop the PA from farming in mid lane. Quite a bit of damage. As the AA came in to help, he's going to be the one falling.
Kataomi, the twin-headed dragon alongside the Dragon Knight, fighting back into 9 class, but that Breathe Fire doesn't quite land, and GPK doesn't have mana for the Breathe Fire. It's late in the night. I don't know if I got Dual Breath and Breathe Fire the right way around, but there's 2 dragons shooting and spewing ice and fire in that middle lane.
Oh, Haste Rune gets snagged. 9 class, like a little ninja, hops across, takes it.
He's got it. He's straight away scouting for vision.
Yeah, it picks out that there is vision. He doesn't know exactly where yet.
He does.
Did he
No
ping
one pinged it
where?
exactly.
Okay.
And Miero very low down here, kind of baiting Satanic in. Because Pure on his Ursa has rotated through that twin gate. He's pinged behind this Phantom Assassin. They'll move forward onto Ducalis. An easier kill there to take out the Ancient Apparition. And maybe... Now they'll zone Satanic out of lane at the very least.
This is big though. They're already laying into the tower. Doing damage very quickly here with Liquid Fire as well. Sanking is coming in to defend. His Sandstorm should be very good for it.
Straight up stun onto this Enigma. No one. With plenty of damage to bring down Miero. And 9 class taking some damage on the way out. Kataomi and save. Gonna clip him with the Illuminate, but it's nowhere near enough to finish him.
Yeah, not too much damage from the Illuminatus. It's only level 1 still. Going for the max chakra, of course. Common build. You want to give that cooldown reduction and mana to your teammates. And we see supports kind of moving towards mid, probably asking Sanking, hey, can we have some experience here? Quite often we see pro games, supports will want to get experience somewhere, but Sanking still wants to lane for a little bit. As the 8-minute rune is about to come. Soon he'll try and control it. All the supports moving there.
A stun. Ooh. Burrow Strike to high ground, but there's still the follow-through Ice Path. Stampede. That noise is Centaur using his ulti so no one could run in and out again. GPK now the focal point as the PA and Slark gonna shred through the Dragon Knight and give the kill to the carry.
He was calling it there. He's like, I TP'd here, I joined, give me the kill. And they give it to the carry. He's gonna be happy with that. Does free up some space bottom. The Enigma finds some time to farm, but PA is of course making her way back down immediately. Slark is finally gonna get this D ward. Actually, it's behind a tree. You can't get it without Quelling Blade. This is such an annoying ward for him.
They've countered the Slark.
Oh,
Advanced ward placing technique.
He put the sentry in the wrong spot. He doesn't realize that it's on that little shelf.
Oh. No one pinged it. He should have listened to his mid laner.
He should have, but, you know, he has vision there is what he's thinking, but he can't actually walk in to spot it. So a rare case of 9 class not actually getting the D word done as a Slark.
Man, it never ceases to amaze me how Pure can recover. You know, that death in lane felt like, oh god, what's happening? But since then, he's unkilled, he's got a kill, and he's top of the net worth, farming incredibly well. And now even pressuring this DM Centaur, Blade Mail already used, and as soon as that has expired, they'll go back in with another stun and a flurry of hits.
Yeah, I mean, Pure is probably one of the absolute greatest like farming mechanics players. He is crazy at that. That's what he got known for as well when he broke into the tier 1 competitive scene. He played some Terrorblades and stuff and just absolutely blew people's minds with how fast he could farm. He has since then had to adapt and evolve a lot, not just be a farm machine, but you know, improve his aggressive play as well.
And a couple of pretty early towers here. It's not even 10 minutes yet. And usually we're looking at, 10 minutes, 30 seconds where the catapults are actually reaching enemy objectives. But the top tier 1 has died. Bottom tier 1 is long gone because it's against an Enigma. And Bedboom have really sliced this map wide open. Now the Enigma has a lot of open space to farm out in that bottom lane. Mira is actually going for Hand of Midas, so really looking to scale and hit a kind of later mid to late game timing, it looks like.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for Betboom, because his game plan is going to be the same no matter what. Midas is going to help him accelerate his levels and get those key levels for Enigma. But no matter if he wanted to play aggressive or not, he's going to have to, play towards late game in this game. And Paravision, that's why I said I want them to play absolutely chaotic Dota in the next 10 minutes, next 15 minutes coming up. So far, we have not quite seen the game erupt like that, but the Blink Dagger is about to be done on Sanking. And that's when he can start leading the way for his supports.
Yeah, you can see the Ancient Apparition is already trailing the Sand King mid, holding the smoke, ready to go. So when that Blink Dagger is ready, they'll hold hands, pair up, smoke to one of these side lanes and look for a key kill. Likely they'll play to where the Slark is, because again, 9 class on this support Slark is a vision bot. He is a walking observer ward.
Yeah.
So mid lane, they'll clear Eidolons, they'll clear the wave, and then they'll go to make a play.
Yeah, he's gonna clear out these creeps, but actually we have Betboom kind of running around as well together. For now, it looks like they're just trying to get level 6 on Jakiro though.
Just the basic act of clearing a wave is so important as well, right? Like, clearing a wave is farm, is experience, but it's also map space and information. If you push if you clear an enemy wave and your wave pushes forward, that gives you vision, that gives you information. So now mid lane, they have to show the Ursa, which means bottom lane, they know that there's no one defending this Enigma. Unfortunately, though, no one can't quite get there in time. So Betboom are regrouping around the mid lane, which Paravision had just left. They're diving the Centaur. Miero is still getting chased down, though, by this AA and Sand King, but they can't kill him. While Centaur, trying to run away from that mid lane, is still being munched on. The Stampede, again, that loud scream of the Centaur gets him out with the speed, and the Shadow Dance invisibility of the Slug allows him to slip away. So a lot of probing there for information and kills, but primarily it's Betboom getting another tower.
Yeah, that was a little bit tough to call, but I think maybe they should use the Centaur Stampede to slow down the Enigma using the Sand King when they jumped. Could have gone extra slow on him, but in the end, game starts pretty tentatively again. The teams dodging each other, and right now, if I was Betboom, Gareth, I would be very happy with the pacing of the game.
So happy. This Miero Enigma is like, I've nearly got Hand of Midas, I'm farming my Ancients, all the tier 1 towers are down. The only...
You're an Ursa now.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Just
Like
the farmer.
The real worry and threat is PA and her timing, but she is yet to get Battle Fury. Ursa is hitting that stride much faster. And they're not just sitting back and farming. They are still striking into the heart of Paravision on their side of the map. GPK is getting pretty close to death. I think he's fine, though. That's level 1 Ice Blast.
No,
he still dies.
Barely. That was like a few ticks remaining. It looked really dangerous. One less auto attack from the AA and he would have lived, but the Kalis managed to get a nice quick ulti on him as he dove the tower. The turnaround on that fight. And that was huge for Radiant because they invested very little. They were the ones getting dove on the tower, and they're the ones to get away with the kill while also farming. Slark is just hitting the mid tower. He's gonna take a while for those little Slark hands, his little shivs, to bring down the tower. But you know, you can see the intention. He's like, "Open up the map, damn it! I want to roam."
He needs a 500 pack of plastic toothbrushes or something.
He does.
Keep shivving that tower. Some way, somehow. Gonna get it done.
He's finding his gold on the back of these keywords, so he's actually closing in on a Eul Scepter already. Pretty early timing for the Slark. This is the most farmed on the supports in this game. Granted, you do get paid for dewarding enemy vision, and if Slark has an automated built-in tool to tell you when you're under enemy vision, that does lead to you getting a lot of dewards done.
It's such a, I don't know, it's just a piss take hero, this Slark, position 4.
Yeah.
But you can't be serious.
It's really annoying. It's really annoying to play against, because it used to be that he didn't get this information until he was level 6. But now he has it from the start, and that's just so good for sports life.
Well, back to farming safely for Bet Boom. Keeper of the Light recalling himself and then his teammates. Just
they're around Tormentor, but they can't take it with 3 heroes. They need Centaur, they need I think they need their entire team if they're gonna go for it. And Bet Boom have great heroes to contest it as well. Oh, look at them. They have the Ursa. We didn't really mention, but Ursa is the best Roche taker in the game, along with Huskar.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd say Ursa's out in front, right?
Yeah, as long as anyone tanks for Ursa, he can kill Roche level 1 very easily, so... Then again, it's hard to tank level 1.
Ice Blast thrown forward. No one's going to get the catch there onto Kataomi with Ducalis, and a Stampede aggressively used this time. Not to run away, but to get in on top of further enemy heroes, so the Keeper of the Light is gone.
Right.
The rest of Bet Boom evading.
It's the type of stuff I want to see from Paravision, though. Despite the enemy getting Roche, they're the ones to just run in and look for the fight, get some stuff done. They get 2 nice kills.
And not overcommitting either, like PA still farming, they're still scaling and having a good time. But yeah, Ursa level 1, like we've had strategies built around level 1 Roshing with Ursa in the past. Not so much nowadays because it's easy to scout out and can be countered. But there used to be a time when the Roshan pit was in the far reaches of the map where you could go and just take it.
With the Aegis Blink Battle Fury on Ursa, on Pure, I think I've been saying that Paravision should be the ones playing fast, but you might see him being the one playing quick Dota now. There's a Blink on the Dragon Knights, Blink on Ursa. He could get pretty involved. The problem is the vision. Radiant vision advantage should be real for the entirety of this game, most likely. Cast again, just looking for vision wherever he can go. Cutting some creep waves.
Miero is having such a chill game.
Oh yeah, he's vibing in the jungle.
He's died once. Like, his net worth isn't incredible, but he's getting a fair amount of solo experience and gold in the jungle.
And he's got
Hype
that
is
Midas. It is a very greedy option, but Enigma is innately a greedy hero, so it can sometimes make a lot of sense. As his courier randomly gets killed by 9 class, who's just in the triangle, being a nuisance, blocking up the camps, killing couriers.
Using the Ursa. Super annoying. He's going to steal the Arcane Rune. No, he's not. He's going to pounce to the high ground, but Pure, he's chasing.
That's so much time, though, and they didn't get him.
And now a scan on the DK. DM and Ducalis. They know he's there now. No one can start it off with a Power Strike into Stomp, into Ice Blast. There's the combination. These 3 heroes can kill anyone on the map.
Oh yeah, so rapidly as well. And Slark, oh no, you don't have ulti this time. 9 class getting a bit too cheeky for his own good.
He died.
Trying to keep people around, but yeah, that has to feel so good for Bet Boom to actually bring down this. It's like when you finally find that mosquito, you know? He's been flying around, you hear him, it's like he's back again. This time the mosquito didn't have Shadow Dance.
that piece, that sesame seed in your teeth, the piece of spinach that's been there. Oh, finally, a relief of pressure. But yeah, I mean, Dragonite dying though, right? Paravision playing into Aegis, finding this snipe, a massive kill, that still puts them in good stead here.
Did we mention
Betboom
that?
wanting to use this Aegis to continue playing aggressively, but Paravision have been dodging real nicely.
Yeah. Oh, DM trying to go through the gates. 0.1 seconds, barely finishes. The
Yeah,
ice
yeah.
path could have cancelled him there, but he did not have time to form. Coddle breaks the smoke bottom, but he might be the one getting jumped. He called in the dragon.
The save's going to blindly light them back. Pops the Essence Ring, and Miero. Black Hole is cancelled by the Yules of 9 class very quickly. So now the Slark chasing Kotl while the Enigma's focused by the Sand King. No one picks up the kill there. And PA opting to jump in onto GPK, the Satanic, with a BKB Phantom Assassin already just destroys him. Jumps onto the next target. Pure is tanky with the Enrage going. Aegis still in his pockets for a minute, so the second life will come. But he's one bear against 5 people surrounding him. What can he do? Try and Earthclap away. He's going to get chain stunned into oblivion. Taken out of this match by a Macropire Ice Path. Killed off while the rest of the squad is looking for the +1. And the +2. The Jakiro, Kataomi about to die to no one. Satanic can't quite catch up to save. But a huge team fight for Paravision here. Just stomping on Betboom.
That Yule Scepter played a critical role, just getting a quick cancel on the Enigma Black Hole. It was a nice decision by Enigma to pull the trigger on a quick Black Hole, but he got wrapped around on 9 class in his positioning. All game has been critical, but this time it really hurt them on Betboom. And even though they had Aegis, Ursa was so late into the team fight, they could not utilize his second life in a good way because his teammates already had fallen. And this is what Paravision's lineup excels at. The aggressive early game gameplay. Look at the net worth lead they got on the back of this. They
That is
are
pretty massive.
9,000 gold ahead. And they're 9,000 gold ahead of the team that has double Midas. So this is big for them.
And Betboom is still thinking about that late game, but it's a question of whether or not they get there, because there's moves like this with no one invis starting the go onto Pure to get the Ursa killed twice in quick succession. Now it's wind out of their sails, momentum gone for Betboom, and firing on all cylinders. Satanic and 9 class, they're onto Kataomi. Jakiro's about to be shredded in that bottom lane. Everywhere you look, Betboom blood being spilled on the map, while Paravision kill into 3-man smoke heading top. They might get GPK.
Yeah, this is great. They're playing everywhere, playing bottom as though they have teammates behind them, while also making a move for this Dragonite. Centaur has realized that Kato is farming here, but he's not the priority target. He lets him be, goes for the DK.
Well, there's no way out for him, is there?
No. Nice.
There's no BKB. He's got no escape.
And they see the Tormentor up here, but they're just farming heroes at this point. And they know that it's so difficult for Betboom. Betboom have limited information on the map due to all the D words from Slark. So these rotations can be hard to sense. Crazy as it is to say, I think the +4 Slark is absolutely just the game-winning hero in this game.
He just sees everything. Absolutely insane. The amount of space 9 class can make. That's the thing, right? That's whether you go back to the draft and how much the draft comes into it. The confidence to have this up your sleeve. No one else is doing it. You're the guy who plays +4 Slark. It is a strategy in and of itself that only Paravision runs.
Yeah,
Other teams know they run it, but Paravision are the only ones doing it.
it takes a certain kind of player to do this, or you need to play a lot of games to get used to doing what he's doing. And it fits 9 class's style. He likes doing these weird agi support heroes and make them work really well. He pioneered a support Terrorblade before this, which became meta to the point that it had to be nerfed. You know, he likes being creative, and I love to see
He does. Ice Blast slides on past, and 9 class gonna ulti to get away from GPK. Courier dies, and another jump from the Dragon Knight's gonna latch onto this Slark. Pure really wants him. Blink expended, and he can't quite catch up. The Slark's too fast, and it's a turnaround play. In they come with a Sand King, forcing a BKB from Pure. Ghost Scepter is the protective green effect on the Sand King that makes him immune to physical hits. And he survives it, allowing another turnaround to go onto the Dragonite this time. With a PA going wild, Satanic takes down GPK. Miero's TPing home, but he's Yule's into the sky. TP cancelled by the Yule. Satanic has picked up a double kill as Kataomi falls. And now Miero has spent his black hole. It's just an absolute unfettered disaster for BetBoom these past 3 or 4 minutes. Nothing has gone right for them.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was so concerned about in the draft phase, that Paravision might come in and just create chaos, and BetBoom, their lineup, they were hoping this game would develop the same way we saw the first 2 games of the series, but this is a different ball game, Gareth, and it's because Paravision designed it to be that way. When they picked the PA and Slark together, it might look slow and greedy to some people, but PA is really, really good at playing this early game aggression style as well.
What ball game is it?
I don't know. It's the one where BetBoom are just running and hiding, man. That black hole looked like full-on panic. There was no one that was gonna die to it.
No. Like, what are we doing?
Didn't even get to channel it. He hasn't had a single black hole that has been channeled this game. He gets cancelled by the Slark every time. Always that Yule Scepter.
16,000 net worth lead now. The PA, 16,000 net worth on her.
Yeah, this is, for anyone who is newer to Dota, this is a very, very large lead at this stage of the game. It's going to take a lot for BetBoom to sort of find a footing in the game again, as the Slark is wrapping behind the Enigma, finds him in the tree line. And sure, you saved the Enigma, but now you're TPing heroes down here, and Slark is out again. Like a little ninja, man.
So sneaky. The spy from TF2 behind enemy lines.
Incredibly cheeky. And Centaur jumping Ursa. Ursa is supposed to be strong against the Centaur to some degree, but he can't. This confidence from the Centaur as well is just...
So...
It's putting you in a bad spot.
And yeah, we talked about that lead. Oh my god, GPK. PA and AA. 2 heroes on the map. Again, we come back to this concept. If you're playing more than 1 lane, you're feeling strong. This is 3 lanes of aggression where they're hunting bottom, killing top, jumping mid, killing Kataomi, and Pure has to run back to base. Save is dead behind his tier 3. We might be close to calling GG. Miero's slain next to his throne. We were talking about an 18k lead at 78 minutes being kind of meaningless, but you're right, 20k lead at 26 minutes is monumental. Yes. This is BetBoom on the brink of elimination now.
I mean, this is absolutely enormous how they're playing the game and the confidence. Diving tier 4s like that as well, they're just feeling themselves right now. They realize how strong they are. And still looking pretty controlled while doing it.
Oh, Pure. He has been read like a book. The Ice Blast clips him. That doesn't stop him from jumping away, though.
Yeah, that was crazy. He got the blink out before the AOT applied any damage. But AOT did clip him.
So the trail, the shatter effect was on him.
Yeah.
But I guess he blinked at the same time.
Yeah, he blinked right as it was connecting, but that only allows him to get to safety. We still have yet to see BetBoom be able to make any moves. Normally it's Caudle who facilitates these early moves, but it's been slow and clunky from BetBoom. All 5 of them now moving top, but it's been seen. Paravision know about this. The Slark is watching you.
No one knows they were coming. Slark knows where they're going. And now you're being penned up into this top part of the map where you're stuck with your backs against a wall, and the other side are 5 Radiant heroes sprinting at you. And one by one, BetBoom fall. I mean, this game is just straight up over now. They've got a catch on the Ursa. Miero has a black hole on the PA, but they can't do any damage. It's stomped and cancelled. 4 heroes dead. GG called. Kind of an anticlimactic ending for BetBoom there as Paravision 27-4. There's no superlatives to explain how much of a single-sided game this was.
You can't beat Satanic, man. You can't beat Satanic. They come in here and finish up the game in a super fast fashion. And this is sort of the danger. They got into that lull of game 1, game 2. They're like, oh, it's going to be a slow game 3. They even bought double Midas along with picking Enigma. Yeah. BetBoom were all in on the long-term development of this game, but Paravision had a different idea. They executed that idea really well. And, I mean, it's just crazy to watch how much aggression is enabled by the vision removal of Slark. They know. Just that
Insane.
that fact in competitive Dota, to have full awareness that they do not see me here. This is a, this is a free rotation I'm making. It changes the game entirely.
Well, that wraps things up. Paravision, they move on forward, facing against Tundra tomorrow. BetBoom, unfortunately, out of the tournament now with a bit of a whimper in that last game of the series. And 12 hours from now, we'll have that lower bracket final. There'll be the main stream going on, but there will be us as well, the newcomer stream for that Tundra against Paravision series, and then the winner against Team Spirit in the best of 5 grand final. Wagga, do you have any closing? We've probably chatted your ears off for the past 9 hours or whatever it has been. You got any closing words before we say goodnight?
My closing words is that this series showed you what Dota can be. It can be a late game, crazy game with so many things happening, you don't even know what's going on. Or you can have a no-starter for BetBoom, like in this game. Just 28 minutes, and they didn't get to play Dota for a single one of those, Gareth. And that's the beauty of Dota. It's a full game with a lot of possibilities.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. We run the gamut here. We see everything and try and describe it for you. Hopefully you come back and tune into the newcomer stream tomorrow. 12 hours from now will be that lower bracket final series. Hopefully see you then.